Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. And let me get set up here. App live. All right. So this is where we go through live forward-looking analysis, looking at where price might go based on our live order flow reading. This all comes from our course, our educational course that's online. I'll show you where that is. It is on our YouTube channel. If you go here, you scroll down in under bonus materials, educational course right here, and you'll see all four webinars here. They're about an hour long each, and highly recommend that you go through these to understand what we're looking at and talking about here, especially parts 1 and 2 that set the foundation for you. And then we'll go through all of that information every day in the live market, and we have live trading on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Stocks Trader, J Trader, and Scapolsini Futures Trader. All right, so let's go through the disclosures and jump right in the market. General disclosure: all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so let me take a look here, and if there's any questions off the bat. Good morning, oh boy. All right, and let's see here in Discord. Guys, if you want to join our Discord room, we have really good discussions over there that are very specific to Bookmap, so you can really learn a lot. Eighth Trader, Bert, JC, good morning, guys. All right, let's get rolling here. Good morning, Bill. All right, so let's jump in here. Let's look at this S&P. I don't even know where to start on this one. It was just, this was a beautiful move here, guys, and it's what we were covering, and kind of we covered this on Friday, seeing the pressure in the volume and trading into high liquidity, taking a pause and trading again into high liquidity. This was a flag pattern that we talked about. This is just beautiful. Here there was multiple flags, obviously is trending, and then look at the cash open and the move up. I mean, this stuff works. It was kind of a not a good webinar on Friday because it was very choppy during that time, but we'll go over it again and again. You will see this pattern and you will be able to profit from it in the order flow. If you read the order flow and understand who's in control, that is the key here. Who is in control in these time frames, and understand that. Like for now, for example, who's in control? Buyers. From where? Right here on up. Even before that, here actually. Okay, even before that, you can even make an argument that they took control here, where they moved it here, or even here, right? So you can see these levels and buyers taking control in these levels here, right? One after another. So what's going on up here? Well, this is now a pullback. This is a low volume pullback in this structure from the cash open at this time here. Okay, so strong buy volume up near the 3,700 figure up here. And here we go. Let's looking for buyers right now, right here. Okay, and let's see if they can move it just up to here, 95, right? Just something like this, or maybe just the first one is right here, 90. Okay, but we're looking for buyers here. We have the strong direction. We have the this as a pullback here, and then now we're looking for, again, buyers to come back in and push this higher. Okay, now that said, it is important to go through the trade management in here and the risk management, I should say. We're traders, and we want to account for both sides in the what ifs in here. But the direction we're looking for due to this strong move to the upside is more buyers, okay, until we see something different. Well, let's take a look at this order flow in here. Here's where we do see some sellers, okay, right in here, take it down, okay, but buyers took it right back up. All right, let's zoom into that area here. So who's in control in here? Well, it's kind of equal. Okay, so we don't really have too much insight in here. There's buyers and sellers in here. And in fact, what happened here is buyers were able to come up back to the top of the range here, of this range here. Okay, they were able to come up to the top of this range here, and they were able to break out. Okay, so we're looking to see if we're looking for buyers. If we get a pullback, we're looking for the pullback to about here for now. All right, and there's liquidity already here lined up on the bid here at 85. Okay, so and we're going to put a trend line in here because they're already pushing into it. Okay, so where is the next level? All right, so this trend is still intact until we see something different, right? So well, that what we're starting to see, maybe the development of something different. Okay, we're back in the range. Okay, we're still bullish here, yeah, overall, and it's pulled back in this trend. Okay, so this is where as a trader, where you have to accept some risks. Okay, are you going to go with this bigger picture? Is this a pullback in here and you're looking for order flow in here to break a small little area in this small structure here, like they did, and then again here, take it up to here, take some profit, maybe look for the bigger move. Maybe this is the bigger move you're looking for to come up into 90 and finally 3,700, the figure, or our 95 first, right? And then our 3,700 up here. Okay, so there's your pullback move. Okay, and this is the iffy part here, right here. Okay, do you want to, and the best way to deal with that, if you're getting involved in here on this pullback and you see just a small change in the order flow here, consider taking some profit here. Let the rest run. You can always add into this later. Okay, so this is a pretty good example. And now we're looking at that flag pattern again. It's already completed it, to be honest. There's one in here, a mini one in here. And then basically there's kind of this one, pause, and then this one here. Okay, and we're still bullish. Okay, pullbacks maybe back to 90 if we get that. Okay, right to here. Let's drop another trend line in here. Okay, and it's starting to break that right now. All right, so now what kind of insight am I going to get from Bookmap in this? It's the volume, it's the context in here. This is the question we always get, and it always sounds like a cop-out in some way or shape or form. Hold on a minute here. I've got this VWAP strategy enabled, and I don't want that. Okay, is the context? The answer is context in here, where it might pull back to, or like how do we read this pattern in here? Now, if we just take a look at, for example, you know, your candlestick charts here. Let's look at a 5-minute candlestick chart here. Okay, so you know, you see the strong move here. Okay, but you don't know how much volume is behind it. You don't know where that volume is transacting within this candlestick here. And the candlestick, even if you look at like a 1-minute chart in here, which I do not have access to, even if you're looking at a 1-minute chart in here, it's still aggregated data within that 1-minute period. Okay, you still cannot see precisely where the volume is transacting. This is where Bookmap is really handy. Okay, so it's right in here we see the strong volume. The pullback was to here at 90, like we were just talking about, and then we see that when we're still bullish in here, and here's the leg one. I mean, there's multiple. This is fractal in here. There was like a mini flag in here, and this is turning into a bigger flag now, and looking for 3,700, the figure. All right, so anyway, guys, the insight from Bookmap is going to be with the volume within the structure here. That's one element of the context we're looking at. And what do I mean by structure is precisely what we're looking at here. The structure of best bid and offer back and forth. Okay, so let me get rid of some of these lines on here. This is the VWAP. It's in the Execution Pro. Oh, okay, it might be down here. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, here we go. Still buying here, or still buyers are, looking for the movement to continue upwards. Now, this is where we want to be a little careful. We're getting pretty lofty. There's going to be some profit taking in front of 3,700. But basically, we're looking for the move to 3,700. That's where the liquidity is. It's an important number. And still looking good here. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay, we covered this on Friday. It was really choppy and kind of hard to see it. It is very clear today. There's our move, 3,700. Okay, and it's still going. All right, so maybe 05, 02, 05, still going here. Until we see something different, there's nothing else to do. Let it run. All right, so what was I talking about? Context. Okay, how is Bookmap? How are you getting an edge in here with Bookmap? Well, you're getting an edge by reading exactly where the volume is trading. So if I take, for example, the heat map off and the volume dots off, just best bid and offer is creating that structure, the price action structure. Okay, for example, here, breakout, consolidation, breakout, pullback to where it broke out from, consolidation, breakout, pullback, and then it continues on up again. Okay, this is the structure. This is a trending structure in here. This is why we mark them up like this, looking at this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, and then if it breaks that structure, where might it go next? Well, we kind of look at some of these structural areas here. Okay, and we also we can look at not just horizontal structures in here. And note, okay, note how this is lining up with your profile. This is a low volume node here. Okay, it's because not much traded there. It's the structure. Okay, this is a low volume node right here. This is a low volume. No, that's the high volume node here. Okay, this it's a little bit higher here. Is your low volume node here. Okay, so here's our pullbacks now. Okay, first pullback is here. Okay, so let's see, are we going to get more sellers in here? And we're not looking at sellers, we're just looking at structure right now. Okay, so here's leg 1. Maybe we'll get leg 2 down into 95 again. Okay, so anyway, the first context here in what we can get from this in the order flow from Bookmap is understanding first the structure. Second is understanding the volume within that structure. Okay, so let's look at the volume in here. How significant was this? Not too significant on that sell side. It's not bad in here actually, but it failed to drop price. Okay, so look where it pulled back to, the top of this structure, or where it broke down from here, the bottom of this structure. Okay, so now actually let's see, do we get more sellers in here? No. Okay, here they are. Okay, sellers, then you should be able to drop it right back down to 97 again. Okay, just based off the context between market structure here and volume within that structure. Okay, so they just about did that. Okay, let's see. I'm still looking for 97 here. And then if they can do that, I'm looking for, and we get the red cell dots down here, I'm looking for them to break it into 95. Okay, and that would be our bearish flag pattern. All right, now that's our context. That's what I mean by context in here in the order flow. The second element to put on here, or is basically the third element to put on here, is the heat map. Where is that volume transacting into? Who's on the other side of this trade? Okay, so we want to look at that. And they're down here. They're not here at this area here supporting it. They're down here at just below or right at 95. And that was the area we had marked up here before we saw any of this. Okay, but we're confirming it here. That's the context here. That's the insight. Another one, context. Look, they're buying on the bid here. There's liquidity here. Okay, and we saw some buying off of that. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Do we get more buyers up here? Maybe this is as far back as it pulls back. Okay, so here come the sellers. Now the context again, look at them pull here at this 96.5. Okay, so let's just zoom in here. See how they pulled as price is coming down? They don't want to be buyers here is what it's telling us. So if we get another barrage of selling right here at 97, I'm looking for them to drop it into 95. Okay, so let's see if we can get that. No, they're adding. See how they're adding here at 96. And what is the context? Well, we found a few buyers back to the top of the range. Okay, now they pulled down here. Okay, and we're getting still more buyers up here. All right, so let's see them trade back into 3,700, the figure, and maybe back to 02 now. Okay, this is the context that we're reading at this level here on this structure in this time frame. All right, any questions? That's it's dynamic, it's happening, it's unfolding here, but we can look to the left and start to understand the structure. We can understand the volume and the transactions within the structure, and we can understand the heat map here. Okay, so we were looking to see if we got sellers here. We didn't. We started to see buyers here, then we're looking for 3,700. It's already traded into it, and then 02 is the next area. And that would be the high of the day here for the cash session. Yeah, bulls, oh boy, absolutely. Bulls control by far. You know, this is a very strong, powerful move here. One of the things that you look for in your flags, and I hate to kind of refer back to flags all the time. That part really doesn't matter. It's the strong move here, and it's strong volume tearing through areas of high liquidity that we want to pay attention to. This is just a pullback or a pause after a strong move. And then do we find more people, do we find sellers interested in trying to sell it back down? Not really, right? So we start to look for buyers on the other side to take it back up higher. Okay, and we did, right? So that's putting that context together, right? That is rather difficult to do when you look at a candlestick chart like this. Okay, you just don't know. Even if you have volume in the sub chart down below here, okay, you can have volume here, but you still just don't know. This is separate from the candlesticks. You don't know where it traded precisely. You can start to pinpoint pullbacks, right? So these are important considerations, and this is how order flow can help you, really help you, right? And this is what we go through all the time in these, not only these webinars, but also in our Discord chat room. All right, so now what do we have here? Okay, so we came up and just broke the high slightly, and this is trapped volume up here. Sellers coming in now. Okay, so we're still in an uptrend, right? We can see it with the trend line. We're still in an uptrend. We're starting to notice some things though. Some pretty heavy selling up here. High liquidity getting filled in here. This is again the context we're talking about. Okay, and then here's the drop. Okay, we said originally our 95 level, or I'm sorry, 95. Our next level, I'm sorry, 97, then 95, and then this level here, 93 or so, and it just kind of went to it and seems to be kind of hovering here at the moment. Okay. All right. So let's see. if there's any questions on here. Double top retest, looking for a second breakout. Yeah, I mean, the double top though, the pattern, the second leg here failed, right? I mean, we got the move up to it, and it did break it, made a higher high here. Okay, but we didn't get enough buyers to try to inch this higher or break out from here. Okay, so we're really kind of where are the bulls now, right? Look for these things. When these things start to fail, then we look for the sellers to come in on the other side, and we talked about the pullbacks already, right? So they're still in play, these pullbacks. Okay, now let's take a look down here, our context again. Okay, let's look at other levels here. Another one, I really like 90 here. First off, it'll break the trend line, get people going the wrong way, and then maybe trade into this and still be bullish, right? We can still be bullish in the bigger picture. Okay. All right, so let's zoom in now, and let's take a look at the order flow and low time frames to give us insight to what might be happening. Okay, we'll zoom in pretty closely here. All right, sellers coming in. All right, back down to 90. Okay, look at the bulls take it right back up. Okay, but notice in here more sellers than buyers. That's a stop run as well to the downside here. Okay, sellers taking it lower. Okay. Okay, into 90, 90 transacted. All right, now I'm real curious here. All right, so let's look, let's watch. This is an important level we want to look at here. Okay, there's still more sellers. Looking to see if they can take it down to 88 now. Okay, actually looking for, it depends, looking for a bit of a pullback, maybe right back to 91 or 91 and a half here. Yeah, I'm looking for a pullback at the moment here. Okay, back up to here in the order flow. It's because look at the selling down here. Okay, we got buyers here. Okay, we have high liquidity at 90. They got to trade, the buyers got to trade through that. Okay, now this is not a trade recommendation, and this is a counter trend to this smaller time frame move to the downside. Just a move back up to this. We're just looking for this right now, up into about 91, 91 and a half or so. Okay, here they go. Let's see if they can do it here. They're still fighting it. Good morning, Kevson. Good to see you in here. Do you guys hear construction? I'm just kind of curious here. I'm sorry about that. Someone's they're sanding the floors up above. No construction. Good. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, you want to see the VPOC? Okay. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is going to be on the cash session. It resets on the cash session, as you can see. No, actually it didn't. Okay, it should have though. These guys are really fighting it here. This is kind of odd to see this, but there's a lot of icebergs selling in here and into high liquidity here, and they continue to do it here. So actually, we were looking for that small pullback here. Look what's going. This is the dynamic, and this is the context and insight we're getting here. There's a lot of buying in here, right? Into icebergs, into high liquidity here. Okay. Now, due to that, typically we look, if they're going to absorb all of that buying, we look for the drop, and if they're going to stay in here and absorb, because they're just absorbing all the buying. Like Wait for sellers to come in and try to move it lower here. Now watch this though. Okay, so into 90 here, let's see it and upend all of these people buying in here, looking for, or I'm sorry, that sold in here. Okay, so now we're looking to see if we can get a nice push to the upside, not just back to 91.5 or 91 here. And now we're looking for something different due to the context of this. This is a lot of buying. Okay, now the opposite scenario in here, we've got to be careful here. Opposite scenario is, what if all these buyers are on the hook here and they're going to be stopped out in the move down into VPOC, or high volume node, maybe a bit below here at 84 and that liquidity there. Okay, so different scenarios in here, but this is what we're looking at right now. Okay, buyers, the field is open here if they wanted to take it right here, and they didn't. Is there a way to do longer operations based on the book map? Yeah, sure. We can zoom out and look at higher time frames in here for sure. You can add more data in here. When you zoom out and click on cloud data, you can get up to 24 hours of cloud data in here. Okay, you'd have to subscribe to DX feed for $14 a month to get that, but you can get that. Okay, here we go. All right, buyers, let's see you now take it. They got it here, right? So it kept on trying, had to go lower, and then now they hit it and they traded through it. Boy, we still see a battle here. All right, so all we did was get our pullback to 91.5. That is funny. Okay. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we want to be real attentive of this 90 area here. Buyers above 90. If we get buyers above 90, this looks good. Okay, for going higher. All right, here's a bit of a flag. Let's see if we can get out of the range, though. Technically, a flag is a breakout and then a pullback, right? So this isn't really a flag in here. And all that we're talking about is this, again, breaking down what a flag is. Okay, just looking for strong moves, pullbacks, and then another strong move. All right, let's zoom in here. Let's look at this much smaller microstructural area here, and we can cover some of the market mechanics in here. Not seeing them yet. Boy, it's really everything kind of dried up. It's pretty low volume in here. No, nothing to do at the moment here. Not getting much insight. Okay, we're back up here. Finding our buyers again. All right. To the top of the range here. Of here. Okay, looking for a pullback to here. Back to 90. Okay, just a pullback. Can you connect IB data to Bookmap for futures? You can, GOS too, but that futures data is pretty poor quality. Okay, so you should be aware of that. I highly recommend that you instead subscribe to Rhythmic data from our Bookmap marketplace, and then you can also route your trades to your IB account and TradeStation account as well from that Rhythmic data. Okay, so that would be the way to go. All right, guys, so this was kind of a false move to the top here. This is why we wanted to stay away from it, because we didn't see that commitment of the buy side yet. And then now we're beautiful VWAP or VPOC trade here. Okay, so oh boy, I'm sure you cashed in on that one. Nice one. What's a stop run? Rare. Yeah, that's where you see people getting stopped out basically, and it's one after another getting stopped out. We can go over the market mechanics in it. We've done many times in the past. All right, let's zoom out. Let's get our bigger picture approach here. Look at all that buying here into that iceberg that we saw, as well as high liquidity up here. How do I use the large lot tracker in here? Yeah, I like this indicator a lot. It's part of the Global Plus version. It's this little line in here. We can identify larger players in the order book here. So out of these 280 contracts here, looks like about 200 of them are one individual actor, something like that. So I look to see what's the context again. They come in, what happens, right? So it looks like this guy actually, he stayed in the book, wanted to trade, and started to transact a little bit. Right, there was 280, 290 in here for a little bit, right? There, 295. He's transacting. They're transacting right into him there. Not much, but some. And then buyers or sellers do not take them on. Okay, we get more buyers in here. This is again that context we're talking about. I'm not sure if you can do, if you have Rhythmic through Apex. I don't know if Apex has an API, PD Legend. So, but you can, if you have Rhythmic RTrader Pro, you can connect via the API of RTrader Pro with multiple platforms. Like for example, if you're running Ninja, you can connect it to RTrader Pro. You can connect your TT to RTrader Pro, I believe, many. And then also connect your Bookmap to RTrader Pro API. Okay, there's a video on that. It's on our website or our YouTube page. Let me show you. It's here. If you come here under bonus materials, and then just go to the right a little bit here, connecting to data providers. Click on this and then view full plain list, and then connecting to multiple data providers or data feeds, as well as one for connecting to RTrader Pro API here. All right, some ICE. No, not much. Okay. Large buying was. It's not. Well, this was resistance still. Here, but there was just massive buying here, right? So it's not necessarily support, but it's definitely bullish. If we can get above it, then, and we are above it, so we're back to looking at buyers again. Now you can see the structure in here. Okay? It came up to the top of this range here, but again, looking for our buyers here. Here they come. All right, so let's see if we can get a bit more back up here. This is a pullback so far. Sorry, it's more than a pullback. There's a lot of selling in here. So this is just range bound right now. It's just range bound. Okay, I'm looking for buyers up here and then a breakout. Okay, into this liquidity here, 94, 95, 96, and not happening yet. Right, we're seeing sellers drop it below the down to the bottom of the range here. Okay, so again, looking for buyers up here, 92.5. Not seeing them yet. Let's zoom in. And guys, we're going on these low time frames. For those who are new in here, we're going through these low time frames in here to show you the market mechanics, how these markets actually work. It is essential to understand this. Okay, once we understand this, we can look at much higher time frames and still understand the order flow. Okay, essentially, we don't know the details, we don't have much transparency, but we can start to understand the order flow. Once we understand how markets work, it's essential, and it's lacking from most education out there. Okay, we've been providing it for years. Our educational course has been up for years. All right, let's see if we can get our buyers back up here right now, and then maybe into this liquidity here at 91. There they go. Okay, looking for, again, buyers here, pull back, looking for our buyers, and then looking for the extension up into 90, 93 and 94. There's our buyers. Okay, let's see it. Let's see if they've got it. No. No. Interesting. All right, still looking for it though. Lots of buying up in these areas here. There we go. All right, buyers, let's see it. This is your chance. We're looking for 94, 95. Okay, not a trade recommendation, but that's the direction we're looking for here. Top of the range here, 94. Okay, and then let's see if we can take some off maybe, and then look for a continuation. Okay, we got to go through this other scenario in here because it's getting a little funny in here. We've seen this move so many times. We see the buying, but they just fail to move price higher. Okay, and they make lower highs in here. That's where and it's already unfolding, but we have to be really careful there. We've seen this move so many times, like in the order flow. We're looking for these buyers, but if they can't make higher highs, then the sellers will come in and they'll move it back into other ranges. Now this did break out from this little range here, so this is a little different here. Okay, but they did not. We wanted to see the breakout here, right here at 92.5 or 92 on up into 94, 95. Okay, and I'm still looking for it here, looking for it right now. Okay, looking for those buyers to come in right here at 91.5. Okay, there they go. Let's see if they can reach it now. Okay, on this one, I would have a super tight stop on this. It has to work now. If it doesn't, I'm out. I'll look for the next rotation. Okay, or consider like going short. Okay, like right now, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Okay, and also we got a little bit of insight in here. Buyers up here. Not so many buyers on the retest up here, right? That's what we're talking about, kind of these lower highs or equal highs in here, and you'll see these sellers bring it right back down. Okay, so now down here we just made a lower high and a lower low, looking for sellers here. Let's see if we can get them down into 88 and 87, looking for them. Okay, not abandoning the whole side of the buying right now. I'm looking for sellers to the bottom of this range here, okay, and this liquidity down here. Okay, we gave the buyers a chance. They didn't show up. We're seeing some selling coming in. Okay, let's see them drop it down to the bottom of the range. Let's zoom in here and let's take a look. Boy, it turned from a this beautiful bullish session into a very choppy time, and some really interesting order flow right in here, guys. And you can see even the stop run after all of that absorption in here by the sellers. All right, let me get to some questions in here. The T stands for transaction or trade on the icebergs, on the on-chart icebergs. Okay, if you see the T and it's above the price, then that was a sell iceberg. If it's below, it was a buy. All right, let's see it, sellers. Let's see it drop it into this 80, 87, and maybe back down into 84 here. See how this one here, even though we have buyers up here, they couldn't muster even an equal high here, right? This is really choppy in here. Okay, so what we're looking for, if they can't do it, we're looking for sellers to try to break the bottom edge. Here they go. They should break it here. Okay, and then we can also look at some of these other areas where these strong moves initiated and down into these areas here. So just in front of the VPOC here, around 85. Now, I don't see much liquidity down there. All right, so this is a battle in here, guys. I mean, really, like, we're looking to see who's in control, and you cannot really judge it in here. On balance, there's more buying in here than there is selling. Okay, but if they can't make higher highs, we can look for sellers to try to drop it down into these lower levels here. Okay, and they did at least to 88 or below 88. Okay, they did make it down here to 87 3/4. Okay, they tested the bottom of the range. Okay, and they even broke it, right? All right, so let's see here if we get them, because now it's really back and forth. Actually quite a bit of buying here. Okay, so we're going to flip on that. If we get buyers up here, okay, because there's quite a bit up here. Okay, and we're looking for a move at least to test some of the highs in here. Yeah, looks good. Okay, let's see it though. Let's see it. They got to commit. Now look again. See, I don't like it now. Here's why. Our structure, again, they failed to even make it up to here. Okay, structure makes a big difference in here. Higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows. It's just choppy. They broke this one here, and they had the advantage. They had the edge here and here. They didn't take it. Okay, there should be softness down below, and we should get a nice stop run to the downside right there. Guys, I know this is fast. It is choppy though, but all of this buying in here will be a stop run here, and it is, as you can see. So again, now leg one, let's see them try to push it for leg two here. Sell side. There's softness down to the downside here. So looking again for sellers to hit it here. There they go. Okay, and then our leg two. All right, there again. is that flag pattern we were talking about before. Okay, so leg 1, pull back, flag, leg 2. All right, and then this would be, of course, this is a scalp, but you'll see it on all time frames. Okay, so you could take some off and then have your stop at break even on something like that. Now I know that happened quickly in here, right? And we're trying to read it. We're trying to read it, and who has the edge in this range by reading the order flow. Once we start to see the sellers come in and the exhaustion up here, sellers starting to come in, we know that this buying failed to break it higher. They're gonna have to be sellers down here. So we're anticipating there to be a stop run like this and like this. Okay, and that was it though. That was the move we're looking for, just that. Okay, and now we have to kind of look at the order flow in here and start to look for when that break may happen. Okay, we know that the buyers could have done it here, right in here. The same thing. They could have done it here though. Same thing to the downside, but they failed to do it. Okay, then we saw the softness in here. We saw the selling pick up here. We're looking for the break. Okay, now you got your pullback here on your flag pattern and the continuation as well. Okay, so it's a little scary for me on these kinds of pullbacks on these breaks here, just because it could be a false breakdown and then a move right back up. All right, but that's the risk that you're going to have to take. Wow, big stop runs to the downside we should see now. Okay, yeah. All right, so we got even a continuation here. Looks like there might be a little news in the market. Here's why. Look at these areas of liquidity in here are starting to dry up. So there might be some news, geopolitical news. We know there's not in the calendar, right? Nothing's going on in the calendar, I don't think. Hold on a minute. Wow, huge stop run. Anyway, we don't know this is going to unfold, but we saw. I mean, I know it is last second, but we see it all the time, and we look for the move and the carry through. Okay, and it did. And then down here, I would have taken at least partial profit, maybe all profit. Okay, in front of the VPOC, right? And I would have missed that then. Okay, but there we noted the softness in it, and this is something to go back and look at your trading plan. If you notice that softness on that buy side, then maybe revisit it and look for trying to capture these other moves here. Leave it open. Don't take full profit. Now, you got to take risk though, right? You can't avoid that, right? So how do you manage something like that, right? You got your move. Okay. Well, let's suppose it would have been a really quick market sell in here, probably. It looks horrible, right? Down at 88, but you saw this. You saw the weakness on the buy side, and then you saw the selling coming in. They're going to push it. So let's suppose you got in here. Even if you got in here with a heavy order, you could take some off down here. That would be a scalp for sure. Maybe you look for your pullback in here, but maybe in here, you're still you're looking for leg 1 and your leg 2, and then take your partial down here. This is one way to manage it. Okay, we used to just talk about one move here and move your stop to break even. Now we've been talking about more of these bigger moves of leg 1 and leg 2. And because we're looking for the sellers to take control below the range, right? So it's a breakout, a pullback, and a continuation move. That's what we're looking for, right? So let's suppose you got in somewhere around here, 88. Let's mark it up. 88. Okay, and let's suppose at that point you were looking to, on leg 2, after you've seen this big volume and you're front running that VWAP, you took your partial profit there. Okay, so now take a look at that. We got in there. Your stop could be up here. Okay, because your first leg and profit. Guys, let me get rid of some of these. We're just going over trade management considerations. Again, this is not financial advice for trading or trade recommendation. All right, that's important because there's so many different ways to do this. We want to be able to read the order flow and apply it. That's what this is all about, and that's what we're here for, to gain insight from the order flow. Bookmap is really good at offering this kind of transparency into these kinds of moves and starting to understand them at a deeper level, okay, that you're just simply not going to see by looking at your candlestick chart in here. You just won't see it. It's just all over the place in here. You're just kind of guessing. Here, we're looking at something very specific to unfold. Okay, now, if you took your partial profit down here, stop at break even, maybe here, 88, where do you take your third? Okay, well, you could target high liquidity down here, or you could just let it run. Right, so in this case, if you just let it run, then your stop would be up here. Like, you didn't get stopped out. Okay, they came back. They came back with a little vengeance here, but it didn't hit your 88. Okay, or we've talked about these because we've seen these continuation moves, really nice continuation moves. Is consider taking your partial profit. Now your stop break even can be way up here actually. Okay, break even on the overall. We even have an add-on that does that. It comes with Global Plus. It's this one here, the break even point. Okay, and you can you can look exactly where your break even overall would be. It would have been up somewhere around up here, right? So anyway, yeah, let's take a look here and see what's going on. All right, so here's our move down through that area. Now let's zoom out, bigger picture here. And let me check also questions here. Scale out positions, yeah, and also scale in, Stephen. Steven. How do you enable VPOC? Okay, so you have to open up a column in Bookmap, and it has to be a volume or trades counter or quotes counter column. All right, then you have to also select it here. Okay, right click in here, insert a column here, and then right click in that column and change it into volume. Right click again and change it into session volume accumulated. Right, and then right click one more time in here, and then select configure column, and then you'll find it right here. Okay. Let's see. Score box. Scoro box. What can be said about supply and demand levels? Well, we're looking right at them, and it's really it's a great question. Okay, this is again context. So right here, you know, this is supply. There's no question about that. This is supply. Okay, now there was more buyers though, aggressive buyers here. They traded into this supply, and they had enough volume pressure to trade into it and through it by a little bit. Look at this beautiful pullback here to where it broke out from in this small range in here. And this is another flag pattern. Leg 1, pullback, leg 2, and then another pullback here. Okay, and then another leg here. You can even look at these measured moves in here. Okay, this is probably going to be equal to the breakout in here, or maybe top to bottom here is going to equal top to bottom here. Let's take a quick look. In fact, we'll just go to line here. Yeah, pretty equal, right? Again, I'm not trying to make this stuff up. It's due to the order flow here. It is the orders that make up these pullbacks. See where it pulled back to? And these buyers came in here. This is why, right? And then in here it's kind of iffy, but then you see the buyers really take, pick it up here. You're looking for it to break up into 962 here, and that liquidity, that supply up here, right? So your supply and demand levels in a strong trending market, this is indicative of it. You see these areas in here that can act as targets, and you can see how it slows down the market and it pulls back, but you still find more buyers. Okay, so it's that context again of understanding that there seems to be in this trend here, there seems to be more buyers trading into high supply and through it, and we want that kind of context. We want to also read the pullbacks and the structure in here. See how this is making slightly higher lows in here and slightly higher highs, and we're getting volume on the buy side in these levels here. We even see a spoof in here type of activity, and there's still more buyers. Now this is after the cash open, so it's a little different. There's just a lot of activity going on in there. All right, so anyway, that's hope that answers your question about supply and demand. Okay, it's context. It's really about the context. Okay, so let's take a look back now at what's going on in here, and I'll get to more of your questions here, but it's really that context. Okay, so strong move to the downside. Okay, and stop runs all the way through basically, and then now look at the buyers come back in, and we're starting to break these little highs in here. Okay, well, they're buyers. Let's see you now move it back up to 83 and then 85 here, maybe a little bit higher above VPOC here. In essence, this is kind of a mean reversion type of thing, but just back to the high volume node basically. Okay, and now one of the things in here, and this is where the stops and icebergs can be really handy, is to understand that the majority of, there's a lot of, not the majority, but there are a lot of stops in here, lots, like 1,000 or more contracts in here, people getting stopped out. Okay? Or we know there's stop orders. This is kind of like a vacuum here. It's not really true selling. Therefore, we're looking for it to fill. This is like a gap fill. So I'm looking for buyers again here. Okay, I'm looking for them to trade up into now this area right here, right now. I'm looking for it. Okay, and then maybe a little bit higher. Maybe we can get a little more out of it, up into 85 and maybe up into here, 80, 86 and a half or so. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Leg 1. Well, it's really leg 1 here. Now we're looking for leg 2 here. So yeah, up into 85 here would be a good area to take some off. 88, maybe 86. This liquidity up here, a little shy of 86. Again, understanding the condition of the orders in here, right? And that's why we're looking for this to float higher. Okay, it was a stop run. Okay, looking for buyers to trade it back to these areas here. All right, so still looking for it. Okay, let's see here. Back up to 82.5. Let's see if they can do it. We want to see them trade. We want to see them transact up here again. Right, that's key. All right, let me get to these questions. Lots of questions in here today, so this is great. Keep them coming. Let me see, how's it going over in Discord. We're doing all right over there. All right, so couldn't find these guys even bring it back up to 82.5. Let's see if, actually, this was a full retracement all the way back down to where they bought here, or even here. Let's see. Okay, buyers, let's see you lift it now, and looking for the you can even look for a move back up to here, 82.5, right after this pullback here. Look at the bid here. That's good. They're coming in here now. That would be the target then. Okay, we might not get to 82.5. We're looking for it to here, 81 3/4. Boy, I don't know. I'm still looking for him, to be honest. I know we just had a strong sell move here. Okay, we're gonna back up to here. Low volume pullback on that. Okay, pulling. Liquidity here at 78. Reaction was sellers. We got our buyers here. Let's see. Okay, buyers, you should be able to take it back up, at least back up to 81. Let's see it. Well, not yet. Not yet. Can't even get to 80. All right, now this is kind of the similar thing that we saw before. Softness in here. They're buying, but they can't lift it. Okay, so if we get our sellers down here, 77 3/4, look for the push through. And that's what we're looking for, that scenario. Here they come. Now they should be able to push it through into 76.5 or a quarter here. Okay, we should get our stop run. We did. All right, and let's see if they can continue. Now, this is the scenario we went through. We saw that, we know that the high, this was higher time frame. It's not really that high of a time frame, but we saw that this was mostly stops. This is a kind of a vacuum here. We see the buyers come in, and these are real buyers. Okay, a lot of them, and there's some stop runs to the upside here, in here, so there's a possible vacuum here on the buy side too. Here's where we're looking for them in here. We didn't get them. We saw that softness again like we did before, and if we get our sellers down here, we're looking for the push lower, right? We gave those buyers a chance. We're looking for that scenario to unfold. It didn't. So we're looking for the opposite and the push back down. And you can still be in this one here. Okay, maybe you wanted to take some off here. You saw that in here at 78. It's a market sell into this liquidity. It's just one of the possible scenarios here for trade management. Okay, and looking for the other one back down into this liquidity here at 73, but maybe bottom of the range here, okay, or this liquidity here at 70. Okay, so that's where we're looking for this to go. Right, we're looking for those buyers in here, didn't get them, saw the softness, saw the sellers come in. Now we're looking for the follow through to the downside. Okay, 73, you know, that could have been a possible target. Okay, or you want to hold it and look for a bigger move here into this liquidity down here at 70. Icebergs and stops here. These, God, I'm sorry, guys. I got to get to your questions. These are really good questions and need to be addressed. So let me zoom back up. The first one was why, or about the stops and icebergs in here. They're on different axes. All right. So that's but what this gives me, it's based off of the summation. So each one is like cumulative volume delta. If it's a buy stop, it's a positive number. If it's a sell stop, it's a negative number, and it just adds them together, and it gives us the output, just like CVD does. It's the same for icebergs. That's the way I have it set up. Here's my settings. If we go up here to stops and icebergs, I'm using summation here, sum and sum for stops and for icebergs. Okay, what that gives me, it's very different than Scott. Scott likes to use spikes and have the axes be the same, and he's looking for that, understanding that context. I like it a little differently. I like the context of the different axes, but I have the context and relationship between the two. Was this a big iceberg compared to a big stop? Well, they're going to plot them on different axes, so I'll have that context. I hope that answers your question. Aloha, Crypto Surfer. Take profit. Icebergs and stops are a confluence. Okay, it's not to be used as a signal. This is important. Now Scott's actually using it as a signal, but it's in a very different way. He's looking for a massive stop run, and then what happens after that. Okay, but it's still he's actually not using it as a signal. He's using it as it's time to now pay attention to that stop run here. What is the order flow after that stop run? Okay, so for example, this is a stop run to the upside, right? But this could be a beautiful flag pattern here up into 85. All right, so let's watch, let's see, because what we're looking for, if that to be the case, we're looking for buyers up here around 78. Here we go. Here's some exhaustion here, looking for our buyers here, and now back up into 80 here. Okay, top of the range, or set 79-ish. Okay, so looking for that scenario here, even though that this is a stop run. Okay, because it's some pretty strong buying in here. We've got our pullback already. Okay, that's not working out. Okay, down to where this move initiated though. This is some wicked chop in here today. It's really kind of all over the place. And this is some pretty strong buying. Okay, right back up to here. The sellers very nicely brought this down. Still haven't hit 70. Okay, interesting. All right, so again, softness here on that buy side. Okay, so look at the buying in here and failing to move this higher here. And now we're finding our sellers. Now this one I don't like as much. Okay, likely the move is down into 70. Okay, but we're below here, and now we're seeing the extension. This is our pivot point here. Okay, but this one I don't like as much. The reason being is we've already seen some pretty big moves to the downside. Okay, so this could be a failure and then back up above the pivot point here and see some buying. Okay, Jordan, thank you. Some interesting bond sales, sell-offs. Scorebox, I hope I answered your question about the large lot tracker. I really like it. We've had it forever too. We've had it for a long time. So iceberg, no. Again, I think on the icebergs, it's just understanding that it's a larger player there that is getting filled. Like right in here, they're getting filled. Right, pretty big iceberg orders. Okay, but that's it. That again, it's context in here. They're getting filled, and they're still getting filled. Look, right. So here's our move into 70. You know, some of that we broke down below here, and we're looking for that continuation, but didn't really like it so much because we're already down pretty low. But here's our move, right? Look at the stops. Look at the relationship here. Lots of icebergs, lots of stops. Okay, great. So let's go through a scenario. What if we get buyers back up above here at 70.5? Okay, if I'm looking for it, I would jump in here. I would look for taking some off at this liquidity here, or maybe a little higher here immediately. Okay, so there we go. I'd be in. I'd be looking for taking some off here. Okay, because we got to get, you know, we're looking for these ranges in here. Okay, so there it is. There, you could take some off there. Now again, this is not a trade recommendation. Okay, but I'm just going through reading the order flow and then how to consider managing a trade around that, and still looking for continuation here, 74, right? Okay, and this is where I got additional insight from that potential move due to the relationship of stops and icebergs here. Okay, but it wasn't a signal. It's just like, oh, okay, I understand at a deeper level here, not only the order flow, but I understand the order types that are transacting down here. And that gives some insight, right? That's some good insight. Okay, so, you know, reduce some risk in it still, and stop at break even right here at 70. Okay, now I may even give this, like we were saying before, may even give this a potential to run further. Okay, because we might get a deeper pullback here, and then I get stopped out at the overall break even. Okay, which would be here. Okay, one way, if I took some partials here, I would have been stopped out at break even, and I made some partial. Okay, if I held for a bigger position here, I'd still be in it basically, but just kind of hanging in there by a thread. Okay, my stop would be down here around 68.5. Okay, and yeah, it's got to work out now. Okay, so there's a real-time example in here, but just it's an example, right? Rhythmic depends on the cost there. You can go to Bookmap Marketplace. I can show you where. Here. Okay, let's see here. We'll just go to bookmap.com to begin with. Okay, and then under More, click on that, and then go to Marketplace here. Okay, and in here, you're going to have to look for Rhythmic or do a search for Rhythmic. That's not it. Okay, and here it is here. All right, so you can get Rhythmic from Rhythmic. Is directly from Rhythmic. I mean, it's they're the vendor here, and then here's the different prices in here. CME $39, CBOT and CME $78. Okay, or 39 for just CBOT. NYMEX 39, COMEX 39. You can add them all together like this, or why not, if you're going to do that, just get the bundle for 99. All right, so that's where you can get it here. All right, guys, so this is still in play, right? If now the different couple ways to manage this yet again. Okay, maybe you added into it here. You took partial here, you saw the break back up above here, and you added in here and took some off again up here on a totally separate trade, right? Or maybe you're still in it from this trade here, right? It depends on what works for you. But we're reading the order flow, getting some insights, and then looking for something to unfold in that direction due to the order flow. Now, the stops and icebergs gave us some insight here, some additional insight. Very nice additional insight. Okay, we're at a low. We see a massive stop run. We know there's lots of buying here of icebergs. Okay, and again, taking some off at the top of the range here is not a bad idea. Okay. If you got in here, you're looking for it up to here. And we're just looking for something that will give us higher probability insight. All right, so let's see what else. Okay, Tommy, I went through lots of stops and icebergs there. Does that maybe answer your question? I'm trying to get through them as you know, as many questions as I can, and we covered a lot. I hope that if you have another specific questions, please let me know. Okay, lots of questions on stops and icebergs today. Guys, give it a try. Try it for a month. You know, we've got a great educator, Scott Pulcini, who's looking very specifically at it. Yeah, Jordan, that softness and that softness on the, and then just not finding other buyers here. We've seen it curl over like that so many times, right? We're looking for it. We saw the strong move. We're looking for them. We're looking for them. We always assume after a strong move that they're going to come back in and support it here. Well, what if they don't? What if they can't move the market? That's where we find the sellers here, and we look for the continuation, right? For them to move it away, because then these guys are going to be it's going to be a stop run, and indeed it is, right here. All right, guys. So here again, right now, where would we? Well, you'd still be in it basically. You know, if you took this in here, right, and your overall, or if you took some partial and then got stopped out and then got back in, you know, you'd still be in it, or you're in it from that kind of overall, trying to give it some room to run here, right? You'd still be in it. Looks great. Look for 80 up here. Okay, now this is pretty strong move. Okay, so let's reconsider taking profit up here at 80. Here's why. Looking for a strong move, looking for a pullback, and then looking for another strong move up into maybe 85, something like that. It's already done one pullback here, and that was the stop run though, and then a pullback. See how you can really read these orders, or this price structure was created by the stops. Okay, now we have icebergs on the other side actually taking some profit here. Interesting dynamic. All right, so we got that relationship here. So maybe you want to reconsider taking your profit up here, or if you're going to look for that move back to 85 here. All right, well, let's take a look. Let's read the order flow. For right now, I have no reason to take profit. I note this, I note it, but that's it. We're just noting it. Okay, we know that this is a dynamic, all right, but the order flow here hasn't told us anything more than that. Okay, this is what do you call it? A subset of the order flow. Okay, the order flow is here on Bookmap. Okay, the three elements on the chart. That's what we want to read first. This is what rules the day here. It really does. It makes up all the moves. Okay, it makes up the moves even on the daily or 15-minute chart. It's all about the order flow. A monthly chart, it's still order flow. It really is. That's why we want to understand it. And Bookmap is so good at showing this on very low time frames, very low. Like right now, we're looking for the continuation here, right? There's our breakout, pullback already. Let's see if we can get a continuation. Buyers here, and then the move back up into 83. Right, even though we saw this in here. Okay, we don't have a reason yet to utilize it. We had a reason down here to utilize it, because we're at a low. It's filling these areas down here, right? And they're scooping it up, and people are getting stopped out at the low. So we had more reason in here, more context. Yeah, up here we're actually looking for that context to unfold up here, like you know, stop runs in icebergs. We don't see anything right now. Okay, still in it, right? I wouldn't be. There's still structure here that's holding. Okay, so it still came back and retested here, but it's making a lower or higher low here, and we're looking at the buying coming back in. Great. Okay, well, they should be able to break it here, right? Here's our flag. All right, leg one, pull back to maybe here, and now let's see if we can get leg two. Okay, looking for buyers here at 81, and now the move higher. Okay, now what gives us insight to that move is really, again, back to structure and volume within that structure. Okay, that's why it's the behavior of these orders in here. Right, look at the buying pressure. Right, where's the liquidity? Where's the supply? It's up here. Okay, at 83 3/4, and above the VPOC here at 85 1/4, and at 85. Okay, our context of stops and icebergs coming into play now. Right. So we're getting a little more insight here. Okay, they are starting to we've seen people get stopped out. We haven't had the big stop run here yet, not like this. Okay, and again, I don't know if I covered this. Note how interesting this is here. Look at this move here, and then the pullback like this. This is the stop run, right? And then here's the pullback, and then we still more buyers up here. Boom, we're looking for the move higher. Okay, and then here we're still looking for the move higher. Okay, even up into here, right? Now here's some profit taking, right, or some selling ice. Okay, so let's just zoom out. Let's get our bigger picture approach here. Okay, so it's back to mean reversion trade here, or back to the POC. Okay, now this is not a bad area to take some profit. The one caveat in here is, or here maybe, the one caveat up here is, like, we went through all of this back and forth in here, but we're still just looking for this strong move to the upside. Okay, so you know, there's justification for not getting out yet, right? That all of that softness that we saw in all of this here, okay, up here. Remember, we saw the icebergs in here. This was pretty good stuff right here. Let's draw our line there at 90, 36.90. Okay, all that iceberg selling up there, and all that aggressive buying up there, right? So if we can get back up to 90 and above 90, all those buyers are good. You know, if they didn't get stopped out, then this is going to be a pretty strong move to the upside. Anyway, again, context. All right, putting together these pieces. Okay, so you've got rhythmic data and IB. Sure, GOS too. So now connect to Rhythmic and open up your Trader Workstation and IB. Make the connection there, and then what you want to do is use this tool here under when you open up the trade control panel here in Bookmap. Is this one here, right? If you right click in here, you'll see the in fact, we can remove the panel, but it's called the cross trading here. A panel. Anyway, it comes here to target instrument is telling me. So in here, you're going to select your target instrument in your cross trading. Okay, you'll add your IB in here as well. Your IB instrument in here, okay, in Bookmap. But then you'll trade from the Rhythmic one, but your trades will be routed via your IB. Okay, Crypto Surfer, you got the MBO bundle yesterday? Excellent. Yeah, enjoy. Ask questions, guys. Like the insights are fantastic. For me, I think it's rather amazing to comprehend that we're looking at not only the order flow here, but the order types. Okay, the next thing to see would be what accounts are linked to the orders, but I don't think we'll get that kind of level of transparency ever. Scorebox, let's go through exactly what a stop run is in here. All right, I'll show you in detail. It's fascinating stuff. It's just a part of the market mechanics here, and you see it all the time. All right, so guys, this is still looking good. You know, this is like a strong move, our pullback, strong move, our pullback. Now we got to see buyers up here again for that move up into 90, right? And then that move to 90 to maybe 3,700. Okay, so if you do not see that, that's where you can kind of consider taking your profits. Right, and then just look for the next one, look for the next setup. All right, so anyway, that's let's show this stop run here. I'll go through the entire mechanics of a stop run. Okay, and this is a fantastic example right here. Okay, and now there's two indicators you get with the MBO bundle, okay, for stops and icebergs. There's the sub chart here, which is down here, and then there's the on chart right here, and that's the one we want to look at here. All right, and then I'm going to open up this one here, and we'll show all stops here. All right, and then we'll wait for this to populate. You can see the red text here is some data that's populating. Yeah, I'm going to go through this because it's important to understand this. This is hopefully we'll have a few examples to go through, and let's see if we can. Boy, I'd really love to see this current market here and see if we're still going to the upside here. Yeah, it's still doing it. Anyway, let's take a look at these stop runs. All right, so there's one followed by another in here. This is a big one. This is a huge stop run. This is a larger player puking. Now I'm speculating on that, but now it could be lots of other little stops along the way. It could be a combination, a larger player puking. It could be, like I said, both. So it's a combination of things. It could be. Why I think it is a larger player getting stopped out here, or maybe they're hitting, market, maybe they're entering, market sell. Whatever the case is, they're moving price against themselves. We know that the transactions are stops. That is a fact. This is just fact, and we know precisely when that happened here too. Look at where that unfolded. It started right here. So this one here, after this transaction here, the next one either triggered a stop or it was a market sell by a larger player that also likely triggered a bunch of stops along the way. Now, in this one here, see this little red line in here? That indicates the stops, where they started to transact and where they finished, and then it's punctuated here by the red dot and the 879, which means 879 transactions in here were stops. Look over here, okay, at your chart range volume profile is nothing but sell transactions. Not one buy transaction in here. Why is that? It's because this was one singular event that unfolded in here. Okay, look at best bid and offer over here. See how they updated later. In fact, the best offer updated, then the best bid updated. Okay, and move down to here. This is the vacuum we're talking about when we talk about that vacuum and stop runs. Actually, it's really interesting order flow because look at someone else came in and they wanted to be a seller below this here. So kind of cap it off here and get filled on the bid or on the offer here, looking for a next drop, right? They want to get filled. They're kind of like front running the vacuum here. Okay, getting filled here. This is wicked stuff. This is what we're dealing with. Maybe the algo here is, maybe they're reading the on balance volume, and then the algo looks at it and says we should sell a ton of hit the sell stop and then throw in limit sell orders right underneath it here. Who knows, right? But we know the order flow, that's for sure, right? And our large lot tracker also shows their position in here. Okay, so we got multiple things going on in here. Anyway, we know this is a singular event. Okay, it's one event. Now within this event, there's multiple things happening though. Okay, it's a singular event because the move happened, the transactions occurred, and then the update of best bid and offer unfolded. Okay, so if you have 1,000, orders to sell, well, you're going to sweep the order book. Then you're going to get filled on that last 1,000. Then best bid and offer is going to update. That's the same thing happening here. All right. So from here, it was even here onwards was a stop run all the way down, and I'm speculating on it being a larger player with other. Now, other traders within here, let's suppose you put your stop loss in here someplace. You are going to be slipped and filled at the bottom. This is what happens. The larger order gets filled first, and then whatever happens within that area after that larger order gets filled, then the other orders transact. All right, so let's look at another one that was in front of it here. Okay, which was also a stop run. Okay, that's actually the big stop run. There's another one in here. Yeah, look at this one here. Okay, so this is fascinating stuff. There's an iceberg algo. This is wicked stuff. I mean, this is how these markets work. Okay, this is a good example. This algo is working its iceberg order on the way down and following down on the offer and getting filled all the way down on the offer here. Okay, now I'm sorry, it's actually getting filled on the on the best on the bid. Yeah, and again, this is a singular order here. Right now, this move here unfolded, and then the stops happened right here. So what I'm saying is this move to the downside was an aggressor. In this case, it's yeah, this I'm gonna have to go over this. This is really interesting stuff in here. I'll have to take a look at this 1050 today and get some more clarity on this, because you can have a limit order act as an aggressor. So this is goes into a deeper discussion in here, but it's worthy to go through it. When you place, and it's possible to place your limit sell order on the best bid, right? And if you do that, and let's suppose it's like a 1,000 lot, well, it's going to sweep that price level, but only that price level. And what's going to happen is your order will sweep only that one price level, and it remains on the best, or now it remains on the best offer, right? Because price has gone down one, the best bid has gone down one tick. So this iceberg is acting like an aggressor. All right, anyway, in fact, this is a more complex thing. Maybe I'll cover this in a separate event or a video for you guys, because let me actually I want to take the we'll just not cover that one right now. I want to just cover the stop loss or the stop run. So anyway, the aggressor came in here and hit market sell. Okay, and in this case, it was an algo working, iceberg working as an aggressor that just followed all the way down. And then what happened after this, when this event unfolded in here, then the stops got filled, then the best bid and offer update. So this is one event again. Okay, now there's a chain of events that take place within that one event, and that's the stops, which could have been here all the way down. We don't know where that stop was, or these 42 that were stops. There could have been multiple on multiple levels in here. What we do know is all of those stop losses got filled at this level here after this aggressor's event took place. So that's your stop run, and there's two different examples there. These people got stuffed down here and they got slipped. Okay, very different than the other one. Really great price action here, guys. We'll have to go over it I think a different time. Okay, but it is fantastic stuff. All right, anyway, let's take a look. Let's zoom back out and look at our higher time frame here. All right, what has unfolded, right? We talked about this and this possible scenario in here. Move back to here, start to note the stops and icebergs. If you want to take your profit in here, you could have. It's a nice trade back up into this area here. There was something more to it though. We were thinking there's a possible scenario to get back up into this area here where we saw all of this buying up in here, right? And all of that absorption by a sell iceberg in here. Okay, that is our 90 level. We marked it up. Where did we go? Okay, we went even above 90. Okay, we even went up to the top of this range in here. It was up to you. You could still be in it, right? You could still be in it now. God, note the stop runs in here. They're massive. Here's another one, 366, 592, 310, 250. I mean, huge. I mean, all sorts of people are just getting just annihilated in here on this move to the upside. All right. Anyway, guys, do you like this kind of education? I hope I answered your question in detail about the stops. And I don't know if any other software is going to show that kind of detail. And I mean, visually, I mean, just beautifully show that. Yeah, the deeper insight and transparency is what you're getting here. Okay, you guys like it. I mean, give us a like on this if you could. This is if you like this kind of education, because we'll go over more. It is, in my opinion, you know, we've been doing it for years, but it is rare. There's other traders out there. They don't cover this kind of education. Mostly it's because they can't, because they don't have this kind of visualization. And to understand these markets at these deeper levels like this. Okay, but the key here is once you start to understand markets at these deeper levels, it will enlighten you. You will see the markets totally differently, but you will be able to bring back now all of your other studies in the past. Really, that's what been my experience here. Is I was like, wow, so that's how the markets work. Okay, now I understand like a head and shoulders pattern in a totally different light. I understand volume profile in a totally different light. It was yeah, revelation for me. We're happy to go through this with you guys to show these details. So thank you for the feedback here. We'll go over more and more market mechanics type of stuff in here, and we will continue to go over applying that to the higher time frames as well, right? And then also some possibilities and considerations for your trade management. But come to the Wednesday and Thursday Scott Pulcini and JTrader webinars for going over very specific trading styles, their trading styles. I went over 2 or 3 different ways to consider trading this down here, and the reasons for the consideration due to the order flow in here, right? And then how to reduce some of that risk along the way, and then look for the next setup, right? And then the potential scenario here for the, you know, even a bigger move here due to previous order flow. Right, and that area up here where we saw it, all that absorption up here by that iceberg. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for subscribing, and you can get alerts for the upcoming webinars and add some comments in here, etc. Give us some feedback in here. We'll go over more, and happy to train you guys on anything related to order flow trading, answer your questions. Okay, Tim, you want to learn more about risk and reward? Yeah, we can go over more on that. In fact, that's a huge subject. It's so important. I brought up the point last week. With any trade that you take, what is a part of that trade? Any trade. Right? What is something you cannot avoid? And yeah, just bat in an answer if you can. Thanks, HE. Guys, Trader HE, he's over here on Bookmap in the Discord, moderator. He's been a long time Bookmap user. Monkey Butt, thank you. Bert, thank you guys. Yeah, you may want to come over and continue the conversation over in Discord. Lots of good stuff happening over there. In fact, what we have, exactly, guys, risk. You cannot avoid risk. You've got to accept risk. So it begs the question, right? And that's the proper I'm kind of a stickler on that one. It's the proper syntax of begging the question, right? Premise A. If you have to accept risk, then how to beg what what do you mean by risk? What is is that in flux there? Is there a problem with that premise? No, there's not. Therefore, we should all be really good at risk management. Okay, because it is a very important part of your trading. So we look for an edge. We have to have an edge. And then secondly, we want to apply risk management to that edge. Okay, and that's where we come in and we journalize our edge over time, and we enhance it, and we enhance our trade management, and then we can capture, we become experts at it. We become experts at our edge of what we're looking for, and we become experts in trade management. We'll do more of that as well, Tim. Thanks for asking the question. Yeah, if you're looking for more to 3 to 1, etc., well, yet again, I mean, like you've got to accept your risk. So you could then down here, if you saw that, well, I don't know, maybe you place your stop below here and you're looking for this move back to 85 in POC right here. That's probably more than 4 to 1 or 5 to 1, right? And then that would give you justification for taking your trade, right? Again, measured moves is another way, Tim, to consider those flag patterns. That's why I've been going over those flag patterns as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming. We'll wrap it up. Tom B is next. He's a volume profile trader. He's already been going for the last like 20 minutes or so. So if you guys want to continue with your education here in order flow and Bookmap, and get a perspective from a volume profile trader, stay tuned, and you'll see it here on our YouTube, or just come on over to our YouTube or our Discord channel. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll catch up with you next time.